The teasers dropped, the fandom went silent, and in an instant, the entire K-pop world was just turned upside down.
I mean, total, absolute shockwaves.
Yeah.
Imagine the ultimate unseen hand behind the curtain, right?
Right.
Someone whose entire mystique was built on staying hidden, just suddenly thrust under the harshest, strangest spotlight imaginable.
Welcome to Starscope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
We have an incredibly dense, just absolutely wild stack of sources to unpack for you today. Like, we are pulling from late-night entertainment dispatches on Karibu and Kpop.
Oh yeah, the forums are on fire.
Right. Plus official corporate statements, some deeply revealing YouTube interviews, and because this situation has escalated to a literal historic level, we're even examining research from an international academic journal today.
Yeah, our mission for you in this deep dive is to decode the utter enigma that is former ADOR CEO Hee Jin. We are going to explore a really shocking interview she just gave on the Quiet Life YouTube channel, and we'll trace how her deep-seated desire to remain a behind-the-scenes creator clashes so violently with her current reality, which is, leading an explosive $17.7 million corporate war against HYBE.
Exactly. And we are definitely going to investigate those wild, forum-breaking rumors about her potentially returning to SM Entertainment. So, get your KT ready, because the lore we are packing today is heavy.
Extremely heavy. Let's start with the headline that literally just broke on July 25, 2026. A preview from the Quiet Life YouTube channel dropped, featuring a revelation from her that, literally no one saw coming.
No one.
She revealed that during her time at SM Entertainment, which spanned from 2002 to 2018, she was formally invited to be a contestant on a blind date reality show.
Which is, wait, not a producer? Not a creative consultant, a contestant on a dating show.
Yeah.
You have to understand the intense fandom emotion this triggers, right? The idea of the architect behind K-pop's greatest visuals sitting awkwardly on a televised blind date, it breaks the fourth wall of the industry in the weirdest way possible.
For sure.
It completely shatters that carefully curated mystique of, the solitary genius.
And the offers didn't stop at dating shows either. She stated that starting in her mid-30s, she was fielding lucrative commercial endorsement deals. But she rejected every single one of them.
Every single one.
Choosing instead to stay completely out of the public eye.
Yeah, because she felt immensely burdened by public attention. Her personality is naturally introverted, so she really wanted the art to speak, not the artist. And when we look at her legacy at SM, that philosophy makes perfect sense. We are talking about the literal blueprint of the modern K-pop aesthetic.
Yeah, let's look at the mechanics of that legacy for a second, because the Hee Jin effect is a very real, very documented phenomenon. She started as a graphic designer back in 2002. And by the time she left, she had become the definitive architect of K-pop's visual language, directing legendary eras for Girls' Generation, SHINee, EXO, and Red Velvet.
And we absolutely cannot discuss her legacy without talking about FX and the Pink Tape art film in 2013.
Oh, iconic.
Right. That project was a cultural reset for K-pop stans. Before that era, K-pop was largely formulaic. It was very shiny, highly polished, performance-in-a-box music videos.
Very staged, yeah.
Exactly. But she introduced this indie art house, deeply narrative-driven aesthetic. She proved that the visual concept and the storytelling could be just as crucial to a group's identity as the actual music itself. She defined what a true, cohesive visual comeback is supposed to look like.
And I want to look closely at the shift for a second, because going from that level of behind-the-scenes control, absolute control, to being offered a reality show is a staggering leap.
It's wild.
It's like asking the architect who designed a towering, iconic skyscraper to just stand on the sidewalk and sell hot dogs outside of it.
Yes.
It's a complete commodification of the creator, turning the visionary into just another product to be consumed.
Exactly. It strips away the authority of the director and turns them into content, which is exactly what she spent 2 decades trying to avoid.
But hold on, because that raises a pretty glaring contradiction.
Okay, let's hear.
We're talking about someone who claims to despise the spotlight, who rejected endorsements to stay strictly behind the camera. How do we square that with the executive we see today?
Oh, the press conferences.
Right. The one holding unscripted, highly emotional press conferences that literally crash servers. Like, did she really hate the attention, or was she just carefully saving her mystique until she needed to, weaponize it for a corporate battle?
Ooh, that paradox is the beating heart of this entire saga. It's fascinating to watch someone who built her career on absolute narrative control suddenly, lose that control in a corporate boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
Once she lost the safety of the shadows, she really had no choice but to step into the glaring light and use her public persona as a shield.
Which transitions us directly into exactly how she weaponized that spotlight. The shift from the creative sanctuary of SM to the blinding corporate battlefield of HYBE involves stakes higher than most fans realize.
Way higher.
So if you're listening, stick around because the plot twist in this feud involves a $17.7 million ultimatum.
Yeah, the jump from artist to executive is always fraught, but this particular corporate war has genuinely rewritten the rulebook on how entertainment companies operate in South Korea.
So let's lay out the cold, hard facts of the HYBE versus ADOR feud to keep us grounded here.
Right, let's look at the timeline.
Because while the fandoms are fighting on Twitter, billions of won are actively at stake. This all exploded into the public eye in April 2024 when HYBE launched a massive internal audit against Min Hee Jin and her executives. HYBE's official allegation was severe. They claimed the ADOR leadership was attempting to seize full control of the sublabel.
Yeah, HYBE alleged that leadership was secretly meeting with outside investors, leaking confidential information to break the label away from the parent company. It was a very direct accusation of a breach of fiduciary duty.
Right. And Min Hee Jin fiercely denied the allegations. She argued that staging a corporate coup was mathematically impossible since HYBE owned 80% of ADOR's shares.
Which is a valid point structurally, yeah.
Her defense was that HYBE was actually retaliating against her because she blew the whistle on another HYBE group, ILIT, who she claimed was actively copying NewJeans' creative DNA.
And the fallout from that was just an absolute barrage of corporate dirty laundry. I mean, we saw alleged Kakao Talk messages leaked to the press. We saw that infamous text where HYBE founder Bang Si-hyuk allegedly asked her if she could, quote, crush aespa with her new group.
Yeah, and we also saw Bang Si-hyuk's highly controversial interview where he suggested removing the K from Kpop to expand globally.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Right. That specific comment alienated a massive portion of hardcore fans who felt the conglomerate was trying to erase the cultural roots of the genre just for the sake of Western market share.
Exactly. And the financial impact of all this internal bleeding was immediate.
Yeah, let's talk about market cap for a second, which is basically simply the total value of a company's shares on the stock market. When this feud started, HYBE's stock plummeted 12.17% in a matter of days.
Insane.
Later, when the NewJeans members held that unprecedented live stream demanding Min Hee Jin's reinstatement, the stock took another dive of nearly 3%. So this isn't just fandom drama. This conflict actively wiped hundreds of millions of dollars off a conglomerate's valuation.
And that intense financial pressure cooker brings us to the main event,
Right.
February 25, 2026.
The press conference.
The press conference.
Yeah.
Min Hee Jin, who is now operating as the head of her newly established independent agency, OOAK Records.
And they are already actively recruiting for a new boy group, by the way.
Right, they're moving fast. So she steps up to the microphone. And unlike her marathon, 2-hour emotional press conference back in 2024, this one was clinical. It lasted exactly 6 minutes.
6 minutes. She walks in, she reads a prepared statement, and drops an ultimatum that genuinely stunned the financial and entertainment sectors alike. So prior to this, the courts had actually ruled in her favor regarding her put option. A put option is essentially a contractual safety net. It gave her the right to sell her shares in ADOR back to HYBE at a guaranteed, highly lucrative price. The court ordered HYBE to pay her 25.6 billion won.
Which, just for context, translates to roughly 17.7 million US dollars. It is a staggering golden parachute.
And in those 6 minutes, she offers to completely tear up that parachute.
Just throw it away.
She states she will walk away from the $17.7 million entirely on one condition. HYBE must drop all of their active lawsuits.
And we really have to clarify what those lawsuits entail to understand the leverage here.
Yeah.
So ADOR, which is now operating under its new HYBE-appointed management, filed a massive 43.1 billion won damages suit against Min Hee Jin. Crucially, though, that lawsuit also targets NewJeans member Danielle Marsh and her family.
Which is, the stakes there are astronomically high. We are talking about crippling financial liability hanging over a young artist.
Exactly. And you could feel the intense fandom emotion when Min Hee Jin delivered her closing line. Like looking directly at the cameras, addressing HYBE and Bang Si-hyuk, she said, "Let us meet through our work, through music and creation."
Wow.
It was a cinematic mic drop moment that sent K-nets into an absolute frenzy.
It is a phenomenal soundbite, but we need to look at the mechanics of how this battle is actually being fought, right? Because it has evolved so far beyond standard legal proceeding.
Oh, way beyond.
One of our sources today includes a really fascinating paper from the International Multidisciplinary Research Journal, which actually analyzes the mechanics of this exact feud.
Yeah, the journal introduces this concept called platformed conflict. It basically suggests that narrative authority is no longer controlled by legacy media or, sterile corporate press releases. In the modern Hallyu wave, truth is co-constructed by fans and networked publics who actively manipulate platform algorithms.
But break down how that actually functions, though. Like, how do fans fight a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate's PR department?
Well, look at the @Jeans Par account on social media, right?
Yeah.
Which is heavily rumored to be run by the parents of the NewJeans members. Instead of an official corporate statement, this account drops fragmented, highly emotional appeals.
Right.
And fans take those fragments, they translate them across multiple languages instantly, coordinate mass retweets, and use specific hashtags to completely dominate the trending pages. Like they're essentially hacking the algorithm.
So they force the fan narrative to trend higher and faster than HYBE's official legal statements, effectively burying the corporate messaging.
Precisely. It is decentralized narrative warfare. The fans are doing immense emotional labor to co-construct the truth in real time. They're basically acting as a human shield to protect their bias.
And applying that lens to the 6-minute press conference completely changes the context, right? You have the CEO of a brand new label, OOAK Records, offering to sacrifice $17.7 million. Is this a genuine olive branch for the sake of art, designed to protect the MACNA and the rest of the members from endless litigation? Or, and hear me out, is this the ultimate poison pill in a game of corporate chess?
Oh, it's brilliant if it is.
Like a calculated PR masterclass to permanently secure the loyalty of the netizens and paint HYBE as the ultimate villain.
I mean, that is the $17.7 million question, right? By making that offer publicly, she places HYBE in a brutal lose-lose situation in the court of public opinion. If HYBE rejects the offer, they look like greedy corporate bullies who care more about crushing an independent creator than just moving on. But if they accept it, she is immortalized as the noble martyr who sacrificed a fortune for her artists. She wins the optics war either way.
Which is just, it's masterful strategy.
Yeah.
And hey, if you love staying updated on your favorites and decoding these massive industry moves, make sure you subscribe to Starscope K-Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead.
Because the story certainly doesn't end with the launch of OK Records.
Not at all. With ties to HYBE seemingly severed forever, K-nets are desperately trying to figure out where her future lies, and potentially where NewJeans' future lies. And if you think this means she's retreating to the safety of her past, wait until you hear the wildest rumor currently setting forums on fire.
Honestly, when I first saw this rumor trending, the sheer scale of the hypothetical was staggering. The fandom spaces are operating in a state of absolute chaos right now.
Oh, it's madness. Let's look at the trending discussions from platforms like Instiz and Panchoa, which were scooped up and translated by Koreaboo. Fans are fiercely debating a massive scenario. What if Min Hee Jin and potentially the members of NewJeans flee the chaos of HYBE entirely and sign with SM Entertainment?
It is the ultimate prodigal daughter narrative.
Yeah.
You really have to look at the psychology of the fandom to understand why this is gaining so much traction.
Yeah.
These K-pop stans are emotionally exhausted,
Understandably.
They have watched their favorite group get dragged through boardrooms, courtrooms, and endless digital battles. They are desperately yearning for a safe harbor.
They want a happy ending where the visionary creator and her muses are protected under the umbrella of a legacy label. And because she spent 16 years building the foundational visual identity of SM in the minds of some fans, it feels like this poetic homecoming.
Exactly.
But let's fact check this gossip, because the reality of corporate governance is entirely different from fandom hopes. Despite the nostalgia, netizens heavily agree that a return to SM is basically impossible.
Yeah, the consensus across the industry is a hard no.
Right. First of all, her reputation in corporate circles is highly radioactive right now. She just initiated a massive, very public war with the biggest conglomerate in K-pop. Second, the SM Entertainment she left in 2018 is not the SM of today. the colleagues she was closest to, and the leadership structure she operated under have largely been replaced.
And the baggage she is carrying is simply too heavy for any legacy label to take on.
Hmm.
You have to remember, she isn't just fighting HYBE corporate. Source Music filed a $500 million lawsuit against her.
Yeah.
Belift Lab, the agency managing Gaelite, filed a defamation suit against her. If SM brought her into the fold, they would be inviting an avalanche of legal and corporate warfare directly into their own boardroom.
Exactly. And let's examine the logic of this rumor from her perspective, too, because it fundamentally contradicts her current trajectory.
Yeah.
It's like a whistleblower who just burned down the biggest tech conglomerate in the Valley, expecting to get their old middle management job back at a rival firm.
Right.
Why would she ever go backwards?
Especially after she has tasted complete creative control. Like, she doesn't want to be a director in someone else's system anymore.
She is already building her own independent empire. She founded OOAK Records. She is actively recruiting for a new boy group. She clearly wants to prove that the Min Hee Jin effect can work from the ground up entirely without a conglomerate's backing.
Mm-hmm.
Trading her own kingdom to go back to being an employee under someone else's corporate structure makes zero strategic sense.
None. She is trying to orchestrate an all-kill on her own terms, you know? The fandom wants the comfort of a big label protecting the artists, mainly just preventing an indefinite hiatus for the group.
Naturally.
But her entire philosophy, from rejecting those dating shows decades ago to fighting tooth and nail for her put options today, is rooted in fierce independence.
So hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update as this OOAK Records era unfolds. Because watching a completely independent label try to launch a group amidst this level of industry scrutiny is going to be historic.
Oh, it's going to be a masterclass in survival. The entire industry is watching to see if an independent entity can actually withstand the pressure of a conglomerate.
Which really brings us to the bigger picture of this deep dive. Looking at all these sources, the revealing interviews, the drastic stock market fluctuations, the academic research on platform dynamics, we want to leave you with a deep, lingering question.
Yeah.
We are watching a fundamental paradigm shift happen in real time.
The bedrock of the industry is actively cracking.
Exactly. K-pop has historically operated as a highly controlled, top-down corporate system. The label dictates the narrative, and the fans consume the product.
Right.
But this feud has exposed that the system is evolving into a decentralized battlefield. Fans, parents, and platform algorithms now hold the power of judge and jury. They can tank a billion-dollar company's stock price. They can force public, multi-million-dollar ultimatums.
The power dynamic has fundamentally shifted away from the boardroom and into the digital streets. The network publics have realized their own strength.
So when the dust finally settles years from now and the history books of this era are written, will the Min Hee Jin effect be remembered solely for revolutionizing K-pop's visual aesthetic? Or will her ultimate legacy be that she was the catalyst that completely broke and rewrote the traditional corporate structures of the Hallyu Wave?
Wow.
It's something for you to deeply mull over as we wait to see what OOAK Records does next.
The curtain is permanently pulled back. It changes how we look at every single comeback, every single agency statement from here on out.
You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu Wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.